because I do stuff like that. How about that? Is it still, we good now with audio? Okay, let's start over. Pretend that never happened. Hey, this is Brooke Drum with Printrbot.com, and we're here at Printrbot Live on Facebook and later Vimeo and YouTube and all that. Why do we do Facebook? Because we got this cool camera that makes it kind of easy, and so we're gonna just keep doing this. All right. Well, I may be turning off some of these printers, but I thought it'd be cool to, you know, we've been talking about these smalls for a while, and in fact, I'm going to be turning off this one because it's not all the way down. I had these guys, this just built today, in fact. I just did a instruction video, so you can very soon, I want to say maybe in some form tomorrow. Dave, you think it's maybe later in the day, or, you know, late in the day, you might be able to finally get a build video. But I do want to mention, oh, and I think I brought that in. Hold on. This is one thing I wanted to do today, is to show you a little bit. You'll have instructional videos some point tomorrow. But to be honest, there's a new way of doing things around here, and that is drawing in 3 dimensions on Fusion 360, and then that provides a very, very nice, okay, open an app, open. So check this out. You're going to have to tell me about the glare and all that, Dave. So anyway, I built this today. The video is, you know, kind of so-so. It kind of gives you a flavor of what it takes to build one, but not like really good detail. So instead, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to the product page, and I want you to, oh great, he's going to give you a link. But on, basically the Fusion 360 lets you open up the model, and this is in A360, which I don't even know, Autodesk 360 app, Autodesk 360, I don't know. But it is so fluid. And so, for instance, if I'm building this and I want to see, you know, this is the easiest part to like hide. So if I want to hide that part, how's the glare? Is it horrible? It's okay? If I want to hide that part, I just hit hide. And look, now I can see everything that's underneath it. But what if I want to hide that part? Well, I can hide that. And then I see what's underneath it. What if I want to know what that part is? Anyway, so it'll tell you, I'm going to show everything here. Now this is the actual organization of parts in this menu over here. And I've actually organized this so that, it's hard to do upside down. But if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to look at it. Okay, I don't know why this is out of order, but this is out of order. It's different than my computer, too. But anyway, so I've put this together. If you want to assemble the XZ gantry, this is the order that you will assemble it in. And those are all the parts inside there. So anyway, all I'm saying is you can go at your own speed, starting on, well, really, any of the sections you want to start on. If you want to start with the extruder, you can start with the extruder, and it'll list all the parts you need. But there is a video that'll be live soon. So I just wanted to talk about A360. I love the way that you can navigate this stuff. The cool thing on the computer, it sounds like I'm doing an ad for Autodesk, but I'm telling you, I, more than some, have done some really crappy instructional videos in my lifetime. And what's the problem with that is, like, if you change a part, then you got to go back and change the video. That is painful. It's a little easier to do pictures, but even parts change in that. But if you kind of lean on these 3D files, well, I'm just grateful that Fusion allows you to update parts on the fly. So if I find I put a hole in the wrong place, I can update it right now, and it will go live. And when you pull it up in your Fusion, which a browser window, if nothing else, then you'll be able to see the actual correct thing that we just fixed. So anyway, that's why I like it. Now, I was going to show the difference here. So on how we on glare on this one. We're okay? A little awkward with me trying to... This is printing so nicely. I'll tell you about that one in a minute. I'm going to move this. Base smalls getting put aside. You'll be over here with the upgraded smalls. Okay. So this one actually does have the exact, I don't know what the difference is, but this one has the exact order to put things together right in the menu there. So I was showing this right at the beginning of my build video. Pretty crazy that you can, come on. I love this exploded view. Why isn't it showing all? I'm going to show all. Show all objects, yes. So you can navigate just like I do when I'm doing the design. Whoops. But thankfully I don't do it backwards. Anyway, so this is available on our product page. Go to the link at the top that says files. And this is the cool thing here. One last thing I want to say about it. Yes, you can see what order you can build it in and all that. But right here, close that. Right here, it says download in the upper right-hand corner. And it says download a Fusion 360 archive, an Inventor 2016, an IGES, an SAT, SMT, STEP, or STEP file, DWG, DXF, STL, SketchUp, OBJ. So you can download all of these file formats. I've hidden nothing from you. The end. So we're really trying to support you through this. This is actually harder to do than just flopping down a video. You know what I mean? Like what I used to, just like show up and start putting stuff together. This is a lot harder because you got to get it so refined. So I've done one animation, and I haven't finished it, but I'll show you. The one animation took me forever. Watch this. I'm going to just hit play. So, I'm going to hit play. There it is. So it shows you like the parts, and it rotates a little bit. This isn't awesome, but it's, you know, a start. It shows how that one part is put together in just a few seconds. Now, if I wanted to stop that, I apparently can't. Okay. If I wanted to stop that and look at it, sorry. I need my mouse. Where's my mouse? Come on. Hold on. I don't know where my mouse is. Okay, never mind. Go to home. Anyway, you can stop it and navigate around it right in the middle of the animation, which I thought was pretty cool. So anyway, okay, enough of the demo. You get it. All right, so that's that. So instructions are coming, although you have what you need right now to put together, although you probably want something better, and we're working on it. So anyway, now, just a quick update. I've got it is true that you can buy, and we have delivered, I think, all of it, but do you know? There may be a couple of 5. I don't know. We've shipped almost all the initial orders for the smalls base. So that is real. It's happening. It went together in the video brilliantly. I'm really proud of the guys that have helped me with this because they took what was, you know, a good idea. They made it even better. So thank you, Steve. And it's really, really nice. So it's printing. It goes together great. This one is the upgrade. So we got those done as far as finalized, and they're in the store. That's good. It's real. Now, this is the one that I've been avoiding talking about over here. And this is the first print on the, you know, finalized version of the plus size. Now, I'm going to move this over, Dave. Is that cool? I love how these all have handles. Okay. So this is what we came up with. Oh, clever little. I think it needs an E-chain, not a belt tie. But anyway, that was the first print. Is there any way to like get a little close-up of this? I just wanted to see what this looks like. So, funny thing, when Mark was building this, he didn't put, there's no fan on the print. Because this was just like, I don't know if this is going to work, so let's just get this rolling. So we went through a few iterations of it, and then when he got it to print, it doesn't have a fan on it. So keep in mind, the top of this is kind of funky because there was no fan. But the rest of it looks pretty good. Are we close up enough that where they might see that it's just decent? I mean, it's pretty good. What is your thought of that print, Dave? Be honest. For this machine.
Well, for that one, it's the best one I've seen off of it.
Nice.
Solid.
I mean, no kidding. It does print, but look, we've put acceleration on this. It's not going real fast, and we've done one print. So is this enough to sell a product? No, it's not. So I don't know. If you want one of these, you're going to have to beg because I don't know about this. It just is ridiculous to me a little bit, but it is possible. So we know it's possible. I don't mind sharing the files. I don't even mind doing a few, and for the wild and crazy ones out there that want to try this at your expense and not mine. It does work, but anyway, I don't really think it's not a product that's got a big future. You know what I mean? But it is possible. So this is the advantage of watching the live show. At least you get to see fun stuff like this. I don't know that it's a product, and what that really means is it's not. But if you want to inquire, Brooke at Printrbot.com. We'll see what you think. So anyway, that's that. It's printing. Good job to Mark. It's about as good as it can look, which isn't that good. I kept this static, by the way, instead of moving that whole arm like these do. It's just too far out. It's 10 inches. So I didn't want that thing sliding way back. The other thing that bugs me about that is then you got to clear, 8 inches in the back. I don't like that. So this is ugly, but it works a little better for this size. So that's the plus. It's real. It works, but it's probably not a product. But I'll let that print. Now this one, I think, very well could be. I say that. This is on its first print, this particular model. So we did several. Actually, it looks really good. I did several iterations of this. There's a bunch of stuff in the other room. I don't know if I've ever shown all of the betas, but this is kind of the final culmination. So we took a base smalls like this, and we grafted on a linear rail here, and just like the Pro, one linear rail here. And then just like the Pro, one linear rail here. So we have kind of like what ends up being a baby Simple Pro, but it's a Smalls linear rail. So I'm liking it. Now, this is the reason I didn't pursue this in the first place, if you remember me talking about it, is it's much more expensive to make, and I don't know if there's people out there that really want to spend that much more for this really high-end equipment. So I guess I'm going to find out by you guys telling me. So you can tell me, whether in the comments here or whatever. So anyway, this is the linear rails. It's the one that I will probably end up using, and probably Brian, another guy that used to work with me. You know Brian. But anyway, so I like this one. And Steve, who's doing my design stuff now, he said, yeah, this is probably the one he'd want. So if you're inclined and you want a little more simplicity, there's less parts on this, in that stack. Here you got to squish all those bearings together. So anyway, so it's a little more elegant. And it does appear to be a little lighter. Oddly. How's that possible? Nah, it's probably just me. I need to weigh these things. But it is nice. So this is probably going to end up being the limited edition that I'll just do a few. I'll probably build them, paint them. So limited edition costs more money. But only do a few because I want one. And that's my way to get what I want. All right, so we got a question. What program do you guys what program are you guys still recommending? Oh, what program are you guys recommending? To run these things? Yes, we do recommend Cura. The reason is they do a good job of putting us in the menus. Thank you. So when you set it up initially, you can find Printrbot in there, and they try hard to make as many manufacturers work right out of the box. Maybe a little less in the most recent version. They've kind of obscured some of that. But anyway, I like the program. It's pretty clean. So yeah. Can you put a G2 on the smalls? Yeah, of course. None of these have it? I guess not. But yeah, you can. You can put a G2. It actually has the same. This filament is awesome. It has the same footprint as a printer board. So these mounting holes actually work identical for the G2. So you can unbolt that and bolt on the G2 with the little legacy board, which is this little thing that plugs in where the ribbon cable would on the Pro. So then you can just plug in all your wires. We should do that, Dave. I think we should do that. I don't know about next week's show, but I know we were talking about showing that at Maker Faire. Oh, by the way, we are going to be at Maker Faire Bay Area. So we'll be there. We will sell the smalls. We will have some other things for sale there, too. And me, Dave, and Jeremy will be there hanging out. So anyway, this is the limited edition, so we're done. We're done with all this crazy design frenzy on all of those printers. This one is probably not, but we'll see how many people whine about me not releasing that. What other questions we got? Can you print with the smalls with a battery? Of course. If so, what kind? Man, I carried, I think it was this, was it that one? There was one I used to carry around with a battery on the bottom. The Junior had a battery box. Any of the printers with the printer board can absolutely print with. What I used was a quadcopter battery, 11.1 volts, so roughly 12. You could carry around a car battery if you have a cart. But what happens is if you get a spike or it goes too low, just shut down the print and it'll all crash and burn. Not actually burn. But yeah, you can just put 12 volts to it and it will work. Don't plug it into your car lighter while the car's running, because that is like the voltage is like this. It needs a pretty steady voltage. So I recommend a voltage regulator, but I've done it without it. So we have some of those batteries around, but I don't have one with me. I thought about at Maker Faire walking around with some of those smalls on battery power. Where does the filament holder go? Do we have one? No, we don't. But, do you want to grab one for me? Dave's going to grab one. So, two options. Number one is, hang something above your head. I usually have those small little spool, we call them spool coasters. They sit beside, and you can use them. But I did put on all of these bots, these two holes here and here. There's two holes here, there's two holes there. So you can just get one of the simple, I think it's just the old simple, I don't see any. But it's the same mounting holes for, a spool holder on these. The reason I don't mount them on here is, one, is kind of ugly, but it's the same mounting holes that you can find printed parts for your spool online for the simple. So if you just go on the simple spool holder, printable spool holder, you can design it to be a little better fit. I think once you get I don't have it in here, but once you get your handle printed, it'll look real nice, and then it has this big piece of metal, so maybe you'd want to redesign that so it's a little more. Now, does it tip over with a spool on it? I don't know, it might. I've got one other file that I haven't shared yet, but I'll show you guys that some other time. I've got some designs for legs. So let me show you. These, I don't know if that's right. But see, this fits right here. So I'm just going to put those on. Put that on. But we didn't include it in the kit because it's another cost I didn't want to have. So I figured you can print your own or you can order one of these. These are for sale, right? Yeah. Great, there's a link there so you can get that. All right, where's the filament holder go? Anything else? Any other questions?
Just a comment from Floyd. I want to work for Printrbot.
Foy wants to work for Printrbot. That's very kind of you, Foy. I have no idea who you are or what you can do. But that's cool. I appreciate it. But man, to be honest, we have shrunk over the last couple of years because the market has come down. I've got less people working for me now than ever, I think. Maybe even since we were smaller in the very beginning. But check this out. So this does work really well. You can put filament right there. But I do have some legs I can post files to. I'm sure somebody will come up with a leg that makes this more sturdy in the back. I've got one that's actually really wide and one that's a leg that's really wide for this guy and one that's small. Should have showed you that. But anyway. Okay, so we're getting down. I've been a little bit under the weather, so this is going to end on time. Maybe even early. But what else we got, Dave? What's your opinion on zebra skins? I don't even know what that means. Now you're just asking weird questions to ask strange questions? Zebra skins?
Maybe that was a thing I didn't know about.
Is it a 3D printing thing that I don't know about? No.
Don't comment.
Okay, no comment. Zebra skins are awesome, assuming they're a good thing.
Global Print Initiative says hello. Gabriel, he said you met at Midwest Rep Rap.
Oh, cool, yeah. I went to the Midwest Rep Rap Festival in Goshen? Was it Goshen? Indiana, where the CBCNC guys are, good guys. And it was a whole bunch of really knowledgeable gentlemen. Very knowledgeable. It's funny when you get into a group like that, like everybody's totally into what they're doing, and it's just really cool to see. And I brought my really polished Pro, and just kind of stood out in a bad way in that group. I think this would have been a more appropriate show, this crazy hacker stuff that I'm doing here. This is what we're going to take to Maker Faire, by the way. On the point of Maker Faire, we do have a booth. It's like one of those 10 by 10 booths. It'll be around the other 3D printing area, the main area for 3D printing guys. So we'll be in there somewhere. I don't know what the location of our booth is, but I'd love for you guys to come by and say hi. We'll have these. We're trying to figure out some stuff that we can give away, but they'll be for sale. As a teacher here on a budget, what printer you recommend for 7th, 8th graders? Well, it depends on what kind of budget. I've always said you get what you pay for. And I do think that if you have kids that are willing to put together a kit, I just put it together today. This kit goes together really well for $298, for $300. Now, if you don't want a kit, I think the biggest steal on our website right now is the Play, what do we call them? Certified pre-owned. So yes, they're parts that have been touched by others, but we bring them back here if they're returned. Some of them haven't, but we've got a great price on the Play under certified. And if you're a teacher or a school, you get an automatic discount anyway, and we have no limit. And what I mean is, you can buy one if you can verify that you're a teacher at a school, and you get a 15% discount. So you got good deals available to you on pretty much anything you want to buy if you're a teacher. So we love teachers, even if you're on a budget. That's great. So contact us, or you can follow the link for, I believe it's teachers? Maybe? Educational sales. All right, he's going to put a link in. But I like this for a kit, and I like the Play or the Simple, but refurbed, you save some money. That's what I would say. And these Printrbot's are going to last you a long time, and I'm really good with support as far as, like, if you have problems, just contact us. We want to help you get these things running. It's no good to me if you buy a printer and it doesn't work. I want to make sure it's working. So we have a pretty good reputation for making sure that happens. Ever tried Matter Control as a program? It works well with My Simple Metal. I have traditionally tried not to endorse commercial programs that are like add-on to the cost of the printer. Since I am, so the question was, what do you think of matter control? Well, to be honest, I've not used it. I've probably seen a demo of it and forgotten it because I see a lot of these things and I have a lot of people asking me, hey, endorse this, endorse this. I never do. I was never asked to endorse Cura. I chose it for myself. And, you know, Repetier, I was never asked to. We chose it. Then we went to Cura. So I don't do deals with other companies to trade money on, like, you put my stuff in your... I hate that. I just want to build what I build and have full control of it. So, yes, it's bare minimum on these in particular when you get something that's not the Simple Pro. You have to get your own software and run it through that. Well, there's lots of options. I let the community talk about how good each one is. I don't talk about it. I don't even try them, to be honest. I mean, for the first time, I tried, what was it, Simplify? I paid to get a copy of Simplify 3D because I had this, well, there's a reason that I was doing it. And so I paid full price to get, I don't do it just for fun because I want to learn all these programs. I don't want to learn any of these programs, frankly. I just want to hit a button that says print on the thing I want to print. That's what the Pro does, the Simple Pro. But I got Simplify 3D and I started calling it Complify 3D just because it was just too much for me, so I haven't used it since. Some people swear by it and love it, so you ask the community, don't ask Brooke. I have no experience with these other programs. ZebraSkin is a surface adhesive for a 3D printer build plate. I didn't know that. ZebraSkin, I didn't. Again, trying to get me to endorse products, it's just not going to work because I don't like anything but my own stuff, pretty much. I mean, that's the way I like to just go with. What can I stand behind? Something I made. And if I screwed it up, I'll own it. But, yeah, when it's other people's products, I don't like selling other people's stuff. BuildTak, you know what makes me mad about BuildTak? And now I'm just going to be honest. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are in the middle. So you could say that about everything, right? But here's the thing that bugs me about BuildTak. It's really cheap to make that stuff. And I think he's selling it for too much. Sorry if that makes you mad. But if you go buy our, do we have our polycarbonate for sale in the store? So we sell this, it's polycarbonate with like a texture on the top. And some of these build plates they're Lexan or polycarbonate. And you just cut it on a laser cutter and surface the top, and it's a build plate now. Why does it have to cost 20 times what it really costs? So I hate it when people try to gouge the public. So I'm selling that at an inexpensive cost, and I do not recommend BuildTak because I think you're paying too much. But you asked, sorry, for BuildTak. I've actually met the guy that invented it, and he was a very nice guy that wanted me to buy lots of it, and I said, no, it's too expensive, right to his face. I think that's too much money. And he wouldn't tell me what it was, so I found out what it was. Anyway, but if it works for you, fine. There's some people that use Elmer's glue. There's some people that use hairspray. There's some people that use all these weird things. You don't have to get my approval. If it works for you, use it. It's great. I have your simple 1405. By the way, I'll give you a hint on that. The model number, 14 means 2014. 05 means May. January, February, March, April, May. 5. So that was 2014-05. But then it says, 2014 model. And I love it. You're awesome, thank you. You're awesome, thank you. And is there a way to put a router on it? A router? On a 1405? Do you know what is that a simple, did he say? It's this one? Is there a way to put a router on it? Yeah, there's a way to put a router on it. And you don't want to do that. The way to put a router on that is, set it aside. Now, it's too flimsy. I mean, to do routing, I mean, this thing, it's actually not bad for what it is, you know what I mean? This probably prints great. And, you know, you can kind of see similar in all of this. But now we did it all in metal. So it is, but it's still not so, I wouldn't put a router on that. I wouldn't put a router on any of it. I'd put a router on a CNC router, which I did with the Printrbot and the CNC. But yeah, you could put a Dremel on it and mess around, you know, but it's, I don't know. That, and the other thing that's hard too is when you get a router on a 3D printer, how do you turn it on and off? And, you know, it's subtractive versus additive, so your G code's not going to match up. It's just really interesting. Discounts for military. So the easy way to say it is no, really, but not because I don't love military. Dave knows I love military. Thank you for your service. But it's hard to, you know, when you're a company and you're trying to sell stuff, and it'd be easy for everybody. Anytime you make an exception to the general rule, it becomes really hard for us to make profit and do business. So there's a lot of military people. If they all came to me and got the discount, I'd probably be screwed. If you are a teacher, you actually have to you have to prove that it's a school and talk to somebody here, and you know we have limited staff, and you get into POs and approvals of credit cards or checks and all this kind of stuff. It just gets complicated. So I would just sadly say no, I don't have discounts for military at this time. I think have I ever done that in the past? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, but believe me, I love military.
Inside deals if you subscribe to the newsletter.
Yeah, if you subscribe to the newsletter, you will find inside deals. And right now, there's a deal for everybody on Certified Pre-Owned. And these guys are $300. So I put stuff for sale as cheap as I can. And if I give you a discount off of that, I'm probably losing money, which is sometimes the case with schools, but I don't mind doing that for schools. So anyway, it's not a business model to discount everything and then discount it again and again. All right, any other questions? I think we're going to wrap up. Any chance a Printrbot will ever work on a PC? Yes. Here's the thing. I make, this may sound snarky, but I try to stay away from recommendations on software. That sounds silly, right? Well, like these guys, they're running without anything attached to it, without a PC or a Mac attached to it. There's an SD card in there, and we created that SD card based on choices we make. We can choose what to design it in, we can choose where to get the file, we can choose what software to slice it in and how to slice it. But then when you get the file, this is a dumb machine, it don't care what you give it, it's G code. So I try to stay away from making software and all that, and a couple times I've tried. Here's the problem with the Printrbot and any CNC. Some are, like ShopBot, that's a Windows outfit. They are all Windows PC guys. They go back, CNC, they go back to when CNC was a parallel port on the back of like a 386 or 486. I mean, they've been doing it a long time. When I came in and started doing CNC machines here, I said, it will not involve Windows, and it will not have a parallel port. I need a USB port. So we found TinyG. And TinyG is the board that runs it, and it does have a USB port. And you can indeed run it with a Windows computer. You can run it on a Mac. You can run it with Linux CNC. It doesn't care what you use. But the software that I've seen run the Printrbot in person and the CNC in person was a Grasshopper, which is Rhino 3D. I think it's called Rhino. I'm looking for answers, but I can't remember. But Grasshopper is a plugin for Rhino. But anyway, there's a plugin that works. You got to buy Rhino. You can't use it for free like some of the other stuff, like Kira. So you buy that, and TinyG just works with it. There's several platforms like that for the PC that you can run whatever you want to run, but you got to spend money to do it. So as far as is there a chance the Printrbot will ever work on a PC with free open source software? I don't know. We wrote something at one time that worked for about 5 minutes, and then we realized we can't support Windows because it's changing too much. And so I stopped trying to make software on PCs. But believe it or not, Printrbot and CNC and anything with the TinyG can run on Windows. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but ShopBot is using, in one of its products, it uses a TinyG board, which is the same code base, and they run Windows. So there's lots of options, but I'm basically not going to help you find the software that you want to use. I'm going to make the machine, and you're going to find the software. That's the way it is. So there you go. Anything else, Dave, that you want to cover?
Is there bulk pricing for the smalls?
Bulk pricing for the smalls. Well, it depends on how many you want. If you want 4,000, no, that'd be too many. Bulk pricing on the smalls. Well, let me put it this way. If you're a school, there's, I don't know, man. This is like the cheapest I can make this thing. So, I mean, what do they want? You know what I mean? It's $300. So what were you expecting? I don't know. Bulk pricing, maybe. Depends on how many. So, it's really, I think it's too cheap already. But contact me if you want to talk about bulk pricing. I don't want to make any promises. So I think you should order one and check it out before you order a bunch. You know what I mean? So you know what you're getting into. Build one of these things. But yeah, maybe we'll consider it. All right, we've gone long again. It's 5:08. We're pretty much on time this time. Maybe a little late.
Couldn't hear us.
Yeah, I started without a microphone. So anyway, well, I appreciate it, guys. I am next week. Am I even here next week? My on a personal note, my daughter is graduating college. We're flying to the Midwest, and then we're back like a couple days later. And pretty soon, my daughter is getting married. So I will have some vacation time this summer around that event. But I think next week we'll be right back here at 4:30. Seems like I should be in town and everything's good. Maker Faire is not happening yet. It's the following week, right? Is that right? Is Maker Faire the following week?
Yeah, it's not this weekend, but next weekend.
It's not this weekend, but it's next weekend?
Is that right?
So Thursday before Maker Faire, are we going to do a show? Of course we will. It's like clockwork. Done. All right. Well, have a good week. I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week's show. So there's that. But anyway, have a good week. Happy printing. Do share the video if you like it, or you can wait around for Dave's awesome remix, the 2-minute remixes. I love those. My wife actually laughed out loud at it today. But you can, tell people about this if you think it's interesting. If not, I like that there's more questions today. That's really cool. So anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good week. Happy printing.